Happy New Year! In this episode, we are going to be talking about how to start your year off right. Now, I have found that the more intentional I am at the beginning of my year, the better my year tends to go. Having that clarity right up front about what's important to me this year, what am I going to focus on, it acts like a guiding light for everything I'm going to be doing that year. So here is my 4-step process for how to start your year off right. Number 1, celebrate the year you're finishing. You must celebrate the great things that happened to you in this past year. Even if this year was difficult for you, even if this year felt like the worst year of your life, you still need to find the things that you're grateful for. So take a moment and do a little inventory and make the list as long as you possibly can. What great things happened to you this year? What did you do that you're proud of this year? What gifts did you receive this year? Really brainstorm a list and remember all of the great things that happened this year. You really want to start the next year on a foundation of gratitude, feeling the wins and bringing the successes from the past. Number 2, you want to complete the game. So imagine for a moment that you think of each year of your life as a new game. Right? You're playing now the new game of 2018 if you're watching this in the year that I'm making it, and you're completing the game of 2017. Now this is something that a lot of people skip when they start a new year. They don't actually complete the game they were just playing, and so the old year just bleeds on into the new year. It's really powerful to actually declare the game of last year over. Here's what happens when you do that. Anything that you had on your to-do list that you didn't get done, any projects you were planning, any goals you wanted to achieve, anything that you haven't actually accomplished yet, that you're secretly feeling guilty about or beating yourself up about, you need to declare all of those games complete. Now you might choose to pick some of those games back up again in the new year, but that's got to be a conscious choice. Otherwise, you're starting the new year already from a place of failure from the old year. So I do a little inventory to see, okay, what things are hanging on in the back of my mind that live for me like, oh, I really should, I'm supposed to, I didn't, but I need to. And I come up with a list of games I'm declaring complete for the end of 2017. Just think about the last time you played a board game and you were behind in the game. Right? Do you remember how it feels to be playing a game when you're losing the game? Maybe you start to feel desperate, you start to take risky actions that you would never take if you were winning the game. You start to feel like the game's really heavy and significant, it's do or die. Or maybe you start to feel like you can never win, you're too far behind. That's why we want to declare the game complete, because when you start a new game, it's full of new possibilities. It's a brand new, fresh start. You can try anything, create anything. It's a world of opportunity. So get yourself to a place where you feel complete about 2017, about the year you're finishing. I do this by taking that inventory, making the list. What didn't I get done this year? What do I feel disappointed about? What am I beating myself up about? Actually write down that list, and then what I do is I burn it. I declare the game fully complete. And if I want to take some of those things on next year, I will. So an example for you, in 2017, I plan to write a book. I took some actions around getting that book. I hired someone to help me. I came up with an outline. I did some things, but I didn't take sufficient action such that I'm actually publishing the book. So instead of just having this book project carry on into 2018, I'm actually declaring that game complete. And when it comes to the next step of actually creating what I want next year, I'll choose if that's something that I want. So get complete about the year that you're finishing. And then we get into the 3rd step, which is dreaming and imagining about what you want for the year that's coming. And I really invite you at this point to take the top off your lid, dream big. Imagine what is it that would make this year the most incredible year of your life. And even if you end up coming up with a lot of ideas that you're not actually committed to, that's okay. This is the first pass, the brainstorming process. Imagine what trips you want to go in, what things you want to accomplish, what kind of relationships you want to build, what opportunities you want to have, how you want to treat your body, how you want to treat your relationships, right? Really think across different areas of your life and give yourself that permission to fully dream of what do you want to have happen in this new year. And don't forget to think about how you want it to feel. Then the fourth step is to anchor everything in. I usually do this with a vision board. I've made a vision board on New Year's for the last 3 years in a row, and by the end of that year, every single year, I'm astonished at how many things I put on my vision board actually happened. So that's my preferred way of anchoring it in, is all of these ideas I've had of what I want, then I actually find an image that captures the feeling that I want, the actual event that I want to have happen, and I put them all together on a, yes, pen and paper vision board. Actually, I brought my vision board. Hold on. I'm going to show you. I've anchored in, I've been intentional about what I want, and I anchor it in visually. And then I just keep my vision board somewhere that I can see in my home. I don't really pay attention to it throughout the year. It's just there to activate my subconscious, to keep reminding myself and the universe of what it is that I actually want and am desiring this year. So that's my 4-step process for starting the year off right. Step 1, celebrate the year that you just finished. Acknowledge yourself and acknowledge life for all of the great things that happened to you. Step 2, complete the game of last year. Clear the slate. Let yourself actually start a new, fresh game in the new year. Step 3 is you want to dream and imagine. Give yourself full permission to dream and imagine what would make this next year the best year of your life. And step 4, anchor it in visually. Create a vision board, and if that feels too hard, at least write yourself a letter of what it's going to feel like at the end of next year after all of these amazing things have happened, and then read the letter a couple times over the year. All right, hope you have fun setting up your year right. I didn't actually go horseback riding with my husband like in this picture here, but so many of the other things came true.